Hi guys, and welcome to Andy Robinson RC. And in this episode, I'll be reviewing my weekend at the Lakeland Classic in Kendall, South Lakes, which happened last weekend. It was August the 23rd of August. And so I'll be letting you know what went on there. Also, the Team Chidori Hype two-wheel drive buggy, the worst two-wheel drive buggy in the world. Sadly, it broke during the Lakeland Classic. So I'll be telling you what happened to that. And then I'll also be going through some other things that are coming up in the next few videos. Right, so let's get started then. So I'm just going to pull my chair a little bit further. Okay, well, so last weekend, the 23rd of August, so it's the weekend just gone, my son Devlin, and my good friend Mark Swift, we went up to the Lakeland Classic in South Lakes at Kendall it's like an annual gathering now. This was the third year that it was running, and we entered it. Sadly we missed 2019. I think Mark was on holiday, and I had previously booked my Land Rover into a classic car show, so it just happened to clash, unfortunately. But didn't want to miss it this year, especially with the lack of racing that's been happening due to COVID-19. So yeah, we definitely didn't want to miss it. And overall, in the end, a good weekend. But at times it was hard going. And the weather wasn't on our side at all. But having said that, in the end, it was still a fantastic weekend, and there was some really cool vintage buggies zooming around the track. Okay, so what can I say? Right, before I get on about the Associateds there, I'll tell you a little bit about the Chidori Hype. Now, I took this with us as a backup car, not expecting for it to be used or for any reason. But my son Devlin, he'd entered his Schumacher Cougar KR in the modern buggy heats. And unfortunately, we don't know what's wrong with it. So I think it's electrical. But it was plagued all day by I think a fault with the electronic speed control or something along those lines. It kept on turning itself on and off throughout the race, and so in the end I suggested, why don't you give the Chidori Hype run in one heat, just see how it goes. So he went for it. Now unfortunately, as it being the what I think is the world's worst two-wheel drive buggy, it broke about halfway through his heat. And to be honest, he wasn't doing too bad. I mean, he was probably up against, I didn't really look what other machinery he was up against, but with it being the modern two-wheel drives, I imagine it would have been the latest Lotus or Associated B6s, etc. Anyway, I watched this Chidori going around from where we were pitting, and at one point he was in 5th place with this. So he was, and I think there was about 10 cars in the heat. So it was holding its own, and I was quite impressed. And then all of a sudden, I couldn't see it running anywhere on track, and I just saw it out by a marshal post, and it had died. So I had to wait till after the race to find out what had happened. And Devlin said that the diff had broke or something had stripped. So I've not had it to pieces yet, but just by looking at it here, see if I can get it to show you. So look, yeah, look, it's just spinning freely. And at first I thought one of the pins had come out, where the hexes are, so it lost drive, but no, it's completely broke. It's knackered on the other side as well. So, as you can see, spinning freely. So yeah, I think the I think basically the diff is stripped inside, and it's no longer working. So that was a bit sad. It's a shame that it broke. If I'm absolutely honest, I'm probably not going to bother fixing it. I'm just probably going to put it on eBay, and hopefully it might be of use to spares for someone who's got a Team Chidori still, or a Protect booster, or maybe someone will want to fix it up. So yeah, so it's a bit sad. It's a bit of a sad ending for the Chidori, but there you go. But at least in a way, it didn't break just outside on the tarmac. It broke during a proper race. So yeah, so that's what happened to that. Now then, okay, so this is, as you may know from some of our previous videos, I ran the Team Associated RC10 B3 factory team and an RC10 T3, which I think probably started out as quite a basic spec kit. Anyway, the good news is that I came back with two trophies, or you want to call them presentation mugs, which I was really pleased about in the end, because I didn't have much hopes at most of the day, but yeah, so I was quite chuffed. So with the B3, as you can see on there, I managed to take second in the D final, and with the T3 truck, I took third place in the A final. So on the whole, I was pleased with this. Yeah, because the B3, it was I say I'm just running a 10.5 in it, but I have limited gearing options. I'm running I can't even remember what the spur gear is on this, but I think it's quite a biggish one, and I couldn't go any higher than a 24 tooth pinion, and that's the biggest size pinion I had. And with this 10.5 setup, I don't have a programming card for it, so I can't adjust any timing or boost or anything like that. So it's just as it is when you initially set the ESC up. So it was lacking in a bit of pace. Plus, of course, I don't run lipos. I'm still running on NIM packs. So yeah, you would lose some, some extra punch there compared to people using lipos. But having said this, once I'd sussed out how I needed to get around the track, then I managed to qualify fourth, and then turn it around in the final and take second. I mean, the track was really wet and soggy. The cars looked all brown after we'd finished. They were completely covered in grass and mud. So I had to spend a wee while cleaning them. But in the end, I didn't break anything on the car. No, tell a lie, actually. Tell a lie. One of the steering linkages, not the actual links, but the name completely escapes me now. But oh dear, I'll show you, it'll be easier. I can't remember the blooming name. No, just have a look. Just you can see there, but where the steering rod links to the steering parts, it basically it stripped the ball joint. So we had to, and it all came adrift. So we glued it back in, and it's actually rock solid. And I managed to do the final with it, and it was absolutely fine. So there. Sorry, I can't remember what that part's called. I'm sure you'll know what I mean, and you'll kick me completely for not remembering it. And the only other thing as well, we stripped a servo horn, a plastic servo horn in round. There was four heats, and then a final. So in heat number 2 of my race, I stripped the plastic servo horn, but luckily I had an alloy one in the box, and that's gone on, and it's completely fine since then. So that was good. That was handy. But other than that, the B3, apart from lacking in a bit of pace, which I hopefully will address at some point, it drove very nicely. Bags of steering. I probably had the wrong tyres on for the day. I had only had one set, and I had Schumacher yellows all round, and I probably could have done with ballistic buggy greens on the rear at least. But you live and learn, and I'll probably have them next time. So that was the buggy. The T3, again, this was... I was actually more consistent running the T3 throughout the heats. Again, I did have a slight issue with the motor wires. And I think other than that, really, that was it. I didn't really touch the setup all day. It could have had a bit of a softer spring on the rear. I think that would have probably helped. But other than that, again, it was just making sure I didn't make any drastic mistakes on track, and remembering, where to be careful on track as well. And yeah, managed to take third in the A final. So again, I was really pleased with that at the end of the day, to come away with 2 trophies. So very happy with that. Okay, I won't bore you to death anymore, but I'll tell you what, if you next year for 2021, you really do need to check out the Lakeland Classic in Kendal. And it's run by South Lakes Model Car Club. So well worth coming up for that event. It is fantastic. Okay, so what else have I got to tell you? Well, just a few days after South Lakes, I picked this up locally to me, and it's an FTX Mauler. So it's a rock crawler. It looks a bit like a rock buggy, but it is a rock crawler. And I picked this up. I think usually they retail at anything between £150 to £200, and I picked up this with 3 batteries, all ready to get run for £70. So I thought that was an absolute bargain. Fortunately, the bodywork's a bit faded, so it's been left in the sun. But other than that, 70 quid, I thought that was a bargain. So we're going to have a running video on that very soon. And as well, I've got something exciting arriving in the post, and I'm hoping it'll arrive tomorrow. And it's basically a new Tamiya release. So I won't say any more than that. But yeah, it's going to be a new Tamiya release, and I'm looking forward to it turning up in the post tomorrow. And if it does, or as soon as it does arrive, we'll do an unboxing video. Right, okay. Cheers for checking out the video today, guys. If you haven't already and you'd like to consider subscribing to see our latest and other videos of RC related things, that'd be awesome. And if you could give us a like and hit the notification bell as well, that is much appreciated. Right, we'll see you on the next video. Take care, guys, and see you soon.